How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Goldmine Scenes podcast. Finally got this shit up and running properly with all the, you know, got the picture, got everything I needed. Hopefully it worked and comes out, properly. But hey, that's what we're here for. Like I said, it's all a learning experience. I'm not sure how long this podcast is going to be today. Couldn't really think of like a lot of things to talk about, but I wanted to talk about something, and plus I wanted to make another episode because it's been like almost a week, maybe longer, and I just couldn't find anything or think of anything. It's all just blah 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 stuff that's going on out in the world. But anyways, I wanted to start this off by talking about a bunch of stuff. Most of it's just like I got a few history stuff on today. Got a few one thing on PUBG. Um, One silly thing. I think it's kind of silly, like about the Joe Rogan experience. Someone wrote an article about it saying like, time to end his article. It's alt right, and he's promoting alt right people, and he can't be doing that because blah. I'll get to it. But the first thing I wanted to start off with it was let's see what was it? It was the Southwest flight that had the engine blow up. I think it was can't remember when I think it was the other day, yesterday. Um, that's why I don't like on flying on fucking planes. When I was going to LA with my homie last year in June, like that's not a well, that was one of many things. I I just don't like planes. I don't like being up that high. Hey, I'm a pussy when I get that high up in the air. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, and I prefer driving. Um, but hey, the only way I get through that is by enjoying the view, because you will never get a view like that, ever. Not even like I hiked up. Thank you, neighbors. They're always doing loud shit next door. But they even hiking up like Little Sigh over here in Washington, like it's a great view. You can see like two cities, the whole mountain range. It's beautiful, but it doesn't compare to when you're on an airplane, because when you're on an airplane you can literally see everything, and that's the beauty of it. But I I don't I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable with it. The whole time I'm up there, I'm like rubbing my hands together, just like, oh shit, like I don't like this. This is not good. Like, oh, excuse me. I just think of all the negative things that could be going on. Oh, good Lord, forgive me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I apologize. Um, oh well. But the just the fact of being that high up in the air scares the shit out of me, and I don't like it. So I'd rather drive, because I like road trips, and that's pretty much the whole reason. Fuck airplanes and road trips. Yeah, things can happen to the car, but I don't know. I find it more intimate. You can take things in longer, see different stuff. Of course, not from the same view, but it I enjoy it more, and I feel safer on the fucking ground. But just like I don't want. That's the whole reason I don't like planes. Like, luckily, this chick, she was like I think she was the first female pilot to fly like it said an F-18 or some shit in here. I think it was on a different article. But yeah, she's like an ex-military, military, Air Force pilot, and she's been like flying for like 30 years or some shit. And so it's like, dude, you got like good thing she was flying that plane, because like that shit was very bad, and I don't want to be on that. And yeah, fuck planes. That's all I gotta say about that. Is pretty much fuck planes. That's why I wanted to bring that up. But this article right here about the Joe Rogan experience on Mediafile. It's just silly. It's time to end the Joe Rogan experience by Matt. I don't know how to say his last name. Gioia. I'm not even gonna try to say it because I'm gonna sound like a total retard. Matt G. There you go. But it just says like over the years he's become a very influential person, and like me and including many others watch his podcast. Like millions of people watch it, and this guy's whole point is that let's see, where is it? Right here. That he's promoting like the right wing agenda, and he doesn't know it, but he's doing it. Not no he's not doing that. Here, right here. I just needed to find the article. Right, let's see. By giving legitimacy to these conspiracy theories, amongst others, Rogan is encouraging the fake news movement and essentially telling his audience not to trust anything that is generally accepted as true. No. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's saying ask. You can't, like pretty much everyone else. Why can't I ask questions? I mean, I am not diving deep and going, oh no, fuck them, fake news, blah 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 blah. I mean, you can't just talk about things and like just ask a few questions. Don't dive too deep and act fucking crazy, but you can ask a few questions. And he's complaining about like his homie Eddie Bravo. I mean, he's just really into conspiracy theories. Like a lot of people, I can't lie, I'm into a few, and I'm into the whole 9/11 thing, but I'm not gonna go out and shout in your face that hey, the government planned this and fuck you because you don't believe this. But I'm gonna be like, it's a very interesting topic, and I would like talking about it because people have been proven to do this in the past, but I personally am not fully convinced that our government did this. But I mean, it's fun to ask questions and think out of the ordinary and just ask, like I just said, one simple thing, ask questions. It's fun to be curious and you just want to know things. It's like, okay, maybe I'm wrong, cool, but I had fun doing it while I was doing all that weird I don't, people are just so fucking that you can't ask questions these days. Someone wants to say something to you and that's that you have to take it as it is and you can't ask any questions. And it, like right here, throughout his podcast's history, he, along with various guests, have consistently discussed and given credence to various conspiracy theories. Rogan has proclaimed on his podcast that he believed that the Apollo astronauts did not land on the moon and the United States government was behind the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and that the government found aliens in Roswell. Now, I guarantee you, if you went up to him and said that, like, Mr. Rogan, do you believe 100% we didn't land on the moon? The government killed JFK, and we found aliens in Roswell. I don't think he's gonna go, yes. He's gonna, have a conversation with you and wants to know your thoughts on it. And then, maybe, like he said before, he's very open to things. He doesn't hurt to change your opinion just by having a discussion with someone. But just because in this day and age you can't ask questions, once again, it's just fucking retarded. I mean, like, people did crazy fucking shit, like, specifically in the JFK days, like, in the 60s. Like, they fucking, when he wasn't president, he went down to Cuba, and they practically got him with two hookers, and these guys were watching him behind a glass window and like, damn, we should have recorded this because this would be great fucking blackmail. Like, we could use this as like some good shit. And hey, if someone would definitely do that nowadays. If someone can break into a cloud online and then share naked photos of a celebrity, look, that's the same exact thing, except nowadays it's a lot easier, and people, I think, are less careless and will just put shit out and be like, oh, no one will know. But it's the internet. It's a lot different than two guys standing behind a window, in the 60s when they didn't have internet, and the only way they could do that is by like filming it and then sending it to the government and saying we can blackmail you. Like, it's different, but it doesn't mean people aren't gonna do it. And it's really obvious that people do that type of shit, just blackmail, framing people, and it still goes on today. It's been going on for a long time, and that has nothing to do with like the assassination of Kennedy. But I mean, that doesn't, I don't know, I've never really, fucking birds are hella loud. I've never dived, what's the word, like I've never dove deep in whatever the word is. Like, I've never looked into the JFK thing a lot, so I don't go around saying, oh yeah, the government did this. But he has talked about it, and the way people have put things together over what, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000, like 40, like 50 years, ago that happened, maybe 40 years ago, something like that. And like that's a lot of time to put things together, ask questions. And yeah, it's a conspiracy theory and probably will never be proven, but time will tell. But people are so afraid of things, they don't want to ask questions. They just want things to stay the way they've been. They don't want anything to be how it is. But like the moon landing, I think we went to the moon. I don't know why you wouldn't want to think people went to the moon. I mean, yeah, it would be fucked up if they lied to us. And but there's proof that we've gone, and then people just want to go, oh no this, oh no that. And I know many times Joe talks about that one video that looks hella fake when the astronaut's laying down on his face and he like jumps back up and it looks like he's being pulled up by cords, because they have faked photos back in the day for like I forgot what mission it was, but I think it was after the moon landing. Like someone, they not necessarily faked a photo, they just took a picture of a guy and then used another photo and put him on it, and people go, oh that's fake, that means everything you did was fake. No. uh, do we know what it's like to be in the 60s and try to bring a camera from the 60s onto the fucking moon? I don't think so. um, it's not as easy as taking like a simple cell phone, going up there and taking a fucking photo, or however they do it now. It's probably a lot more difficult than we know, and we can't test that. So I don't know why like the only way you can figure this out is by looking at things over and over and over again and reading testimonies. And I mean, that's why I don't debate people about it, because I don't know anything about it. I just feel like it'd be dumb to think humans didn't go to the moon, because that's a pretty monumental like moment in our like history of being on this fucking planet, and people just want to discredit everyone. But that's why I don't argue about it and just say, oh they did and then this, no. I just think, why not? I think it's cool that they went. If they did, I think they did. But hey, I'm not a scientist or an astronaut, so I can't really tell you yes or no. But that everyone else on the internet seems to be fucking perfect at their job and they know everything about everything. And yeah, and then the whole aliens in Roswell, never looked into that. um, that'd be cool. I mean, I've watched a few videos and people talking about it, but I mean, I feel like it would have been proven by now, and that someone would have leaked it. I mean, if if nowadays someone can leak information about fucking governmental parties and corruption and people stopping people from being elected in the presidency and then people being assassinated, but there's no actual proof that people had them assassinated, it was just quote unquote a robbery or some random event that happened, like that that's I mean, you would know, right? I feel like you would know if something from the 50s was real or not. It would be you. They would tell, like, someone somehow would find information or something. Or I mean, that's what I think. But hey, if aliens were found in Roswell, that's awesome. That's fucking gnarly. But back to the whole article, this guy just saying that how he spent countless hours dissecting the September 11 attacks on the World Trade Center, providing various theories to who was truly behind the attacks, and even saying, I've got to go with controlled demolition. If I had to, one way or another, I absolutely don't know, but I would not be surprised if it was proven that it was a controlled demolition. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I've watched, like I said, that's probably the one quote unquote conspiracy I've been into the most. And I mean, I've seen buildings demolished before, in person and on video. And I've seen the world not in person, but I've seen on video the World Trade Centers get demolished, and they, I didn't really see explosions, but like the way the buildings collapse and the way all the air shoots out of the buildings, it's very perfect. And people have tried to make videos and how, oh, you can see flashes here, and I'm like, I'm not sure if that's a flash or maybe it's just glass breaking or the sun reflecting off, or I don't know what it is. I'm not really an expert in those fields, but I mean, sometimes you see things and it's like that does look like controlled demolition. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know anything about the heat, like, and I wasn't there. I didn't assess the area and how a plane would crash into a building and jet fuel drips down and melts the support beams, then it just falls. I mean, yeah, I'm no professional, so I can't say that's true and that's not true. And I can only say my opinion and what I've seen on YouTube, because that's the only place you can see that type of stuff is on YouTube, and pretty much half the stuff on YouTube is fake or conspiracies, or yeah, just video people are like, oh look here, see this? Oh, you see that? That means this. That has to mean this. But are you a professional? No. And were you there? Probably not. Did you like assess the area and actually look at it? I doubt it. But from all these videos, I guess maybe hands-on accounts, you can kind of guess what happened, and you know, I I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm no expert, so I can't really say. You could watch videos of a building falling for hours and say that that's facts and proof and all that stuff. So I just, like I said, I find that shit interesting, and it's just, it does, to me, it does look fishy sometimes. Like, just the way the buildings fell is kind of, it just doesn't seem right. The whole Tower 7 that was next door that had no damage to it just burned from the inside and fell, which makes no sense. And things falling, I think people might have said things fell inside of the building and that's what caught it on fire and made it melt. I don't fucking know. Like, I try not to get into that stuff too much anymore, but if there was someone like, Eddie Bravo or Alex Jones or Joe Rogan, they want to talk about it, yeah, I'll talk about it. Like, I'm no professional, but I've seen enough YouTube. I'm a YouTube expert. Yeah, I should put that on a job resume. Just I'm a YouTube conspiracy expert. I watch YouTube conspiracy videos, and I've watched a lot, so I'm an expert. No, that would not fly in today's society. But like, he complains about Alex Jones, and I mean, you got Alex Jones. He does say some silly things, and most of them I don't believe. But I mean, hey, it's entertaining to listen to what he has to say. I mean, I'm not sitting there going, fuck you, no, fuck you, piece of shit. Like, no, I didn't, fuck you. I'm like, oh, damn, okay, that's how you think? Or, oh, that's interesting, okay. Like, this guy says that, what does he say? He said something about Alex Jones. Rogan disclosed his fondness for Alex Jones with Steven Crowder by saying he is an interesting and entertaining person. This description is the seal of approval to a man who actively promotes theories such as tragedies, actively promotes theories that tragedies such as Sandy Hook and Las Vegas shooting are false flags, operations by the U.S. government in order to hoodwink his audience into buying marked up products sold directly by Jones himself, as seen in the John Oliver piece about his methods. Yeah, those two things I think are real. I don't think they're fake. But I mean, just how he says description is the seal of approval, or he says that he is an interesting and entertaining person. He is. He's interesting by the way he thinks, and he's entertaining by all the weird shit that he blabbles and gets so mad and he gets so red and he turns into a tomato. Like, that's pretty interesting. And Joe Rogan has known him since like 98, maybe even earlier. So they're friends. They're good friends. They talk. They're friends, okay? You're not gonna have your friend on. If I have like the whole Milo I don't know how to say, Yiannopoulos, I don't know how to say his name. He's an interesting guy. The way he thinks. Oh, you think he's interesting? Are you fucking promoting him? No. Just, I've never seen someone think the way he does, and it's quite, odd. But, I'll listen to him. That's what Joe's doing. He wants to listen to the people. He wants to hear what they have to say. He's not having them come on to have them promote their right-wing things, and Joe, yeah, okay, yeah, this is cool, yeah, everyone follow them on Twitter. No, he doesn't say that. He doesn't promote their fucking bullshit. He has a conversation with them. He doesn't have to have every single one of them on and fucking oh no, he doesn't have to debate them and fucking yell at them all the time. And right here it says, Rogan is playing into the alt-right's hands by providing a platform that humanizes them, and instead of fact-checking their ludicrous statements, he allows them to espouse their beliefs to his audience, thereby lending his guest credibility and an audience to preach to. It's the point of a podcast so you can talk to people and so they can listen. He does question their statements, but just because he doesn't stop them and say no, you're wrong every single time, doesn't mean he's promoting and letting them go. Oh yeah, you might be right. No, he's not doing that. He lets them espouse their beliefs to his audience, whatever the fuck that means, talks or whatever, preaches. But that's the point of a podcast, so people can come on and talk about things. He's not just gonna have people come on and be all Christian, peace, one love, PC, and yay, love me because I want to be called this and I love everyone. He has anyone and everyone on so they can talk about what they think and how they feel. He doesn't have to have everyone come on and just grill them and fact check everything. But just, you can't let a guy come on and just talk, even though it may sound pretty radical. He still questions them. He talks about it. He doesn't agree with everything and go, you know what, that's why I brought you on here, so you can just, I can agree with everything you say and you can promote your beliefs. And I feel like this person that wrote this article, Matt, I feel like you think everyone's a fucking idiot. Like, yeah, people can preach, thereby lending his guests credibility. Like, so I don't understand. He allows them to espouse their beliefs to his audience, thereby lending his guests credibility and an audience to preach to. I don't think he's giving them the thumbs up on their beliefs and ideas and going, yeah, good idea, I'm glad you're thinking that. Like, that's a good way of thinking. I guarantee you, if you go off air and talk to him, he might go, yeah, that guy's a little bit of a fucking nut. Or I don't agree with everything he says. Or I don't agree with anything he says, but I'm not going to sit there and shout at him and tell him he's wrong. Who the fuck am I? I know everything that's right? I know what's right and what's wrong? I know a lot of common sense and what you should and shouldn't do. Yeah, he spouts a lot of weird shit, the Milo guy, but that doesn't mean I'm just gonna fucking get in his face and say, no, you're fucking wrong. Maybe that is the way he thinks, and that's how his world runs. You don't have to agree with him, but you don't have to fucking, like, shout at his face and just say mean shit and just think that he's promoting bullshit and that, hey, I want people to come on here so I can promote their shit and their nonsense and, yeah, their right wing blah, blah. He has everyone on. He has all sorts of people on. He had Michael Shermer and Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson on, and he was grilling Michael. There's a dude in his early 200 episodes, or maybe 300, that he was super grilling. He's I can't remember exactly everyone, but out of the 1,000 plus episodes, just because he's had like 5-6 people on that talk about right wing stuff, that's a fucking problem, and that his podcast needs to end now, because these few people that have been on here, they promote bad things, and no, that's a no. Mr. Rogan, you have to stop your platform now, and it's time to end, even though you've had all these people on, all these intriguing people, all these people that promote great ideas, are very smart, and are helpful towards humanity in the world and just society, and, a better way of thinking. It's time to stop after these 4 or 5 people over the years. It's time to stop. You're not Filthy Frank. It's time to stop. No, it's time to stop with your bullshit articles, and actually, maybe write something positive, because I've never seen a positive article on his podcast. I don't think I've ever seen an article on his podcast. This is the only one I've ever seen. It's just, he promotes right-wing things and alt-right bullshit, so yeah, it's time to go down with you, Mr. Rogan. No. I think someone's salty about the podcast and wants a little attention. Well, you got it, and you sound like a fucking idiot. Sorry. And they'll go, Brandon, you're promoting so you're promoting fake news and not right stuff, and you do the same thing. And no, I don't promote it. If you really want to know my opinion, I think half of them are fucking stupid. They're idiots. They're morons. They're ignorant, and they just want to think what they think, and they want to be right. Who? I don't know, but most of them. Not Milo, not fucking Alex, and Eddie is nowhere near that. He's a jujitsu teacher, and he likes to dig deep in conspiracy theories. He's a cool guy. He doesn't do any of that shit. Alex, he thinks a little bit out of whack, but hey, he's actually a cool guy from everything I've seen. But he just, he likes to talk, and he gets a little bit out of hand, and there's no one sitting next to him going, hey, stop, calm down. Let's take a breather, take a step back. Let's talk about this. Milo seems like a genuinely nice guy, but his ideas are out of whack, especially the stuff that you saw on Joe Rogan's podcast. And if you have any sense whatsoever when you listen to this, you probably will go to yourself, you think to yourself as well, like, dude, this guy probably isn't thinking right. I don't like any of the way he thinks, yeah, I don't agree with him. But that doesn't mean he can't come on and talk and be like, I had a good conversation, even though I disagreed with all your stuff. I had a good time. People are just so afraid of having these type of fucking questions. And by finishing it off, he goes, by doing this consistently, he is pushing their vile messages closer and closer into the mainstream and contributing to their acceptance. So I'm talking like this because I feel like that's how you talk. Just very like, I want to get my point across. But contributing their acceptance into the social media world. Okay, his viewers have become susceptible to the illogical, xenophobic, and hateful rhetoric because Rogan gives people like Jones and Yiannopoulos a platform where they will not be challenged and called out for their words and behavior. Yeah, they will. Even in this little snippet that you posted here for 6 minutes, Milo, on why he doesn't believe in man-made climate change. Joe's not promoting that. He doesn't say, I'm gonna debate you. Let's see. I'm gonna actually see right here. What does he say? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see right here. Yeah. And then he wants to talk about the climate change. So right here. Yeah, right here. He's like, how he just talks about. Let's see. Because he doesn't play devil's advocate. But, let's see. Might take a second. I want to find exactly where this part is. Let's see, where is it at? I'm not going to cut this out of me waiting around trying to find this clip just because I want to know exactly where it is so I can show you right away. I don't want to worry about cutting all this shit out. And I don't give a fuck. If you don't want to wait, skip ahead to when I start talking about it. Because this shit's just fucking annoying how people talk about this shit. So not debate you, just ask you questions. 157 in this video. He doesn't have to debate. See right there. He just wants to ask some fucking questions. What's so wrong about that? Right there. Isn't that challenging? Isn't that you're challenging someone and they're you don't have to necessarily say I'm calling you out. I'm gonna challenge you. Asking questions. I can question you and you can get stuck on something and be like, what are you challenging me, bro? No, I just asked you a fucking question. I guess it depends on how this guy interprets someone not challenging and calling out their words. Thank you for whoever's calling the house right now. But yeah, I just feel like this guy's fucking butthurt about the Joe Rogan podcast. And that he is questioning him. Let's see right here. He said, let's see. So where does he talk about the scientists? Right here. It's right before all that happens. See, he's like you. See, like it doesn't have to be a straight up like you don't fucking think this, huh? Why do you think this? So right there, he's like, they will not be challenged and called up for their words. He says so at like the 25 second mark, 20-second mark. He says, so you think all those scientists that have all that data are full of bullshit? You know, you think they're full of bullshit? And so Milo goes, well, here's all my stuff, blah 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 blah, and he tells how he had first-hand accounts and saw all this records and how it's fake and all this stuff. And I don't think it's fake, considering that an article just came out that we lost a third of our coral reef due to sun bleaching and climate change. So there is climate change, and I highly doubt Joe Rogan doesn't think that, and that he's promoting that it's bullshit, and that he's not calling people out, because right there he just says, he doesn't say, so you think all these scientists are a fucking liar, huh? You think they're bullshitting? He just says, he called him out. He challenged him, but in a very polite way. He didn't just full on, head on, what the fuck, bro? You don't fucking blah blah blah, which I think this guy Matt is probably wanting Joe to do. He just wants him to bring on right-wing people and grill the shit out of them and make them look stupid. Well, that's not the point of the podcast. Okay? I don't know if you've ever watched his podcast, or if you're only watching the ones with right-wing people because you want to get really mad and point fingers and say how his podcast sucks, but it really sounds like you are. And if you want to think that, it's totally okay. Go for it. But there, that's pretty much me calling you on your words of behavior and your bullshit, because I feel like this article is just a whiny fest of salt. You're just oh, and you don't know what that means. You're jealous. I don't know why. You just don't like the podcast. Maybe you don't like these people, so you honestly think that he's promoting alt right shit. But out of the 100 plus episodes he's done, I highly doubt that he's promoting alt-right stuff. But hey, you want to think that? Go for it. I'm not stopping you. More power to you. Kudos for that, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, I guess, Matt. Yeah. Get a better writer. Unless you're the actual writer, then stop being so fucking uptight about shit and a little bitch. Because you're being a little bitch about it. Like, people don't want to say that nowadays because they're offended about it. Want to say you're just being a bitch, straight up. And you tell me I'm being an asshole, please. Don't be a little bitch, and not say it, and just say it behind my back. Yeah. This next article is about PUBG getting map selection, because everyone doesn't want to play what's it called, Miramar. It's an open desert map, and everyone seems to fucking hate it. But it says they're getting a level select, presumably because everyone fucking hates the desert map. It's been out for a little while now, coming to Xbox next month, and people fucking hate it because it's just an open desert map meant for sniping, and that's about it. Because I personally don't care for desert maps, but I want to try it a few times, see if I actually like it or if I actually hate it. The Savage map I'm interested in, because it's a tiny map. It's very small. It's like a Call of Duty map, and that's coming very soon, which I hope will be on Xbox sooner than later, like a whole fucking year. But if not, that's okay. If people go all the way to the all the way to the extent of deleting the file from their game so they can not play it ever again because they fucking hate it. But of course, they say the map selection will be implemented to PUBG test servers soon. That can be a month. Who fucking knows? Now we are on to the music events that happened on this day and history events on this day. I know it took a long time on that Joe Rogan bit, but that was like my main gripe this episode. Just you have 1,000+ episodes, bro, and just like the 5 people, like the maybe 3 alt-right people that came on there. There is not even alt-right. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. Then, like, I'm just gonna keep talking about this for a fucking second, just because it's so stupid. Like, Alex Jones is not alt-right. He's just a wacky guy. That's what I would consider him, as a wacky guy. He's wacky. Milo, alt-right, definitely. There's this other guy that came on. I can't remember his name. He's got a killer dope mustache. I think he's came on the show twice. But he has a dope mustache. It's like an old 1800s curled up one and shit. But he seems kind of not necessarily alt-right, but right-leaning, and he was on there. You can say Eddie Bravo is alt-right, but he's not alt-right. He is just a dude that fucking loves conspiracy theories. Sorry, I yawned there. And if you want to call him alt-right, go for it, but that you don't know what the fuck alt-right is, then, my friend, you literally actually thinking about it, he made an article based off of Milo Yiannopoulos. He wanted to say the whole podcast needs to end because it's promoting alt-right shit just because Milo was on back in the 800 days for the episodes or whenever. Alex Jones just spouts hella crazy shit, so I guess that means he's alt-right for episode 9/11. And then Eddie Bravo's on there so much that, I mean, you could just you'd have to say the whole show is just a conspiracy theory because Eddie's been on there so many times, and every time he's on there he talks about the moon and 9/11 and all this crazy shit. But they actually talk about real conspiracies that actually happened, like Operation Paperclip. That was gonna be some real shit. Look that up. Operation it was called Watergate. Can't remember exactly what it was. There's a few things that have been proven to be real, or were going to be real. Bay of, I can't remember Bay of Pigs. I fucking can't remember all these things. I hardly ever look them up. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. I don't ever dive deep into these. So I listen to Joe talk about it, and I go, oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, huh? Okay, well, I'll take that with a grain of salt. I don't actually go and say this shit's alt-right. Oh, because he had one guy on, that's alt-right. And 2 guys that are alt-right. Well, one guy that is, one guy that's slightly, one guy that's crazy, not necessarily, just with what he says, and fucking Eddie Bravo, who's just a dude that loves conspiracy theories. He's like me, but even more into conspiracy theories and way more agile and could beat me up in one touch of the finger. But it's just really like, that's all you gotta do, sit around and try to, like, you're that bored, that's what your article is about, bro. Like, I could write a better article on anything. Like, you couldn't have just written an article on, like, anything. Well, I guess that is anything, but, like, something that actually you have a valid point and makes sense. You're right there, you're just going, oh, so many people listen to his podcast and they're just promoting alt-right, and so his listeners can go and preach this after they're done listening to the podcast. Well, that's why you can ask questions. There's the internet. You can talk to your parents. You can talk to your friends. That doesn't mean you're going to go out and just tell everyone facts and that's that. People will question you. Like, where'd you hear this? The Joe Rogan podcast. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Now I think this. So now we can talk about these ideas. And Jesus Christ, it's like you think he's the new Messiah and that he's just preaching shit and that people take it as it comes and they don't fucking consider anything that goes on the podcast. Like, this guy barely listens to the podcast, I guarantee you. But I'll just stop right there and finish on that because I just think that dude's super fucking bored. He's salty about something, I don't know why, and he just wants attention. And you tried. Good job, bro. I'm just yawning talking about this guy. But anyways, now we're on to the music history events, which I like to look up because I'm always curious on what happens on each day. I don't really care about what happened recently. But on this day, Nas released his album Illmatic. If you haven't looked that up, at the age of 20, dropping mad heat. Go look that up. One of the best hip hop albums probably out there. Her, I don't want to say mainstream, but at the time mainstream, I guess you could say it's not. Yeah, I guess you could say it's mainstream. Like, it's something you can't miss. And if you're sleeping on it, that's your fault. You're missing out on a fucking iconic legend. And Nas will go down in history as one of the best, and he'll definitely top anyone of this generation. And practically any '90s rapper will top anyone of this generation. I guarantee it. Oh, but this person got top 3 with this. No, no, no. That's with streaming, you fucking idiot. Streaming is 10 times different than going out and buying a fucking album, a CD, something that, a physical copy. It's a lot different. But we can still compare them to streams because clicking a song and listening to it is comparable to actually going out and buying the album. Purchasing it so that you own it and you have a physical copy, not just I went on Spotify and streamed your song for hours and hours and hours. Good for fucking you. You don't compare to Nas, to the Beatles, to Led Zeppelin, to fucking Alice in Chains, to Frank Sinatra. You're nothing. I'm sorry, but you're nothing. And half of the music that's coming out in this generation is fucking trash, if you ask me. Hobson's great. I'm trying really. Who else? Kendrick Lamar is really good. Tyler, the creator, is still killing it. I guess you could say The Weeknd, but he's not really a rapper. He's more of a singer. He's really good at singing. I don't know. Maybe he's a little bit of both. The R&B, maybe. He's talented. He's a talented guy. Who else would be good? I'm sure everyone can tell me a bunch of people, and I'll just listen to it. That's fucking trash. Like, I was listening to a Black Moon today. They're a '90s group. Gotta listen to them. Be sleeping on those guys too. They're like I saw what someone said, and it's very true. They're like the Ramones of hip hop. If you don't know who the Ramones are, probably don't. They're an '80s band, I think. They're around in the '80s. Yeah, they're a punk band, I believe. That's what they were considered. I would just say rock, but back then I guess maybe punk rock or something like that. They did Rock and Roll High School. What was another? I can never remember. I can remember all the lyrics to like all the songs, but I can't remember the fucking actual title. If you heard the songs, you'd know that. Oh, these are the Ramones. Okay, but the Ramones, like, they were popular, but I feel like they didn't get they were totally underrated, and that's how these guys, Black Moon, were. They were totally underrated. I put some shit on my Instagram and Snapchat, just the bars that they have, like Gangstar, full clip, like any of Gangstar. They got, like, he even says in his songs, he's got decades of songs that will last forever. Like, these people still listen to Gangstar today. I wanna know who's gonna be listening to Migos and Drake in 2030. Someone will probably try to be like, oh yeah, remember this? And people will be like, yeah, cool. Remember this? And then I'll put on fucking Who Got the Props by Black Moon, and people probably have never fucking heard it. But I guarantee you, they don't stop talking and it's a fucking bar. Same with Wu-Tang Clan. Everyone's got to know Wu-Tang Clan. If you don't know Wu-Tang Clan, something's definitely wrong with you. But everything they say is a fucking bar. Every single line, and it's not the same in every single song. You can probably try and tell me it is, but it's not. If you actually go and listen to what they say, like, it's all said differently. They go down as one of the most influential rap groups in history. I think they know the entire, like, what was it? What's the word I'm looking? Not encyclopedia. Like dictionary. They're one of the most lyrically talented people out there. I think they're they've been ranked as using like almost every word in the English language. You see all these fucking retards nowadays making this like the stupidest fucking songs in the fucking world, like Lil Yachty and Pump and all, like these guys like I literally saw an article on Snapchat that made me want to fucking break my phone because it was like Lil Yachty, the best rapper of this generation. I was like, I physically want to vomit my fucking spine out and break my phone. Like, this dude is so fucking trash. I would literally rather eat out of a dumpster for the rest of my life than listen to that guy. And people might think I'm just being too harsh or I'm just being a dick or that's just your opinion. Well, it definitely is my opinion. But then I can show you. I can physically show you things that are better. But it's just then again people just say it's my opinion and that's what I think, and yes it is, but I'm actually showing you facts. And if you can't agree with that, then that's just you being stubborn, I guess you could say. You're just, yeah, stubborn, I guess. But I could back up everything I say about how 90s rappers are better than practically 90% of every rapper that exists now, besides the few that I named earlier and of other few that I probably don't know of or just can't think of at the moment. But I will challenge anyone out there, like, please try to show me a good song from these modern day guys. And like, I have nothing against them, like like the people themselves, but the music they make is fucking trash. That's just the way it is, and things will never be the same, as Tupac said. Or go listen to Binary Star. I bet none of you, maybe one of you that listen to this podcast know who Binary Star is. Maybe a few of you. Go listen to Binary Star. They made, I think, 2 albums. Well, Masters of the Universe, I think, is their first album. Go listen to that. It tops anyone. Anyone you can listen to these days. Now, it's difficult to say what 90s rappers can top each other because they're so fucking lyrically talented. I don't think you can. You just say there are so many good rappers that they have to sit at a round table, like the Last Supper. You can't put them on pedestals. You got to put them around with each other to just show how many talented people there are. There's not one better than another. They're just that talented and that raw. Nowadays, it's so much pussy shit. Like, literally, it's so fucking soft and stupid. Like, it's super fucking soft and fake and fronty, and people don't mean the shit that they say. And I guarantee you, if you went and, like, that's why people are so insecure and have to say all this shit and how much they flex and all this shit. I seen a video of Lil Pump going, I think someone probably called him out and said like he's cheap or something, and he's like, I got this watch, five grand, my shoes, my belt, my this, my that, so I can talk. You can flash your stuff. There's no problem with you flashing your stuff on how much money you have, but you fucking suck at your job. I'll definitely tell you that. You fucking suck at your job. I'll tell you that. And the reason I can prove that is because, like I said, I can show you so many more things that are better than him. And, like, oh, well, that's then and this is now. Yeah, I guess so. But, it's okay to say that they suck. You don't need to promote them and put them on a pedestal and make them seem so grand and that they're so good when they're actually fucking trash. It's okay to say that they're trash and that for some reason I only like the beat and people saying the most stupidest shit. But hey, that's probably why I listen to everything except that. I'll go listen to my Drew Down, and I'll go listen to my Beethoven, I'll go listen to the Ink Spots, and I'll go listen to the fucking the Impalas, the fucking I bet none of you have heard of any of those people besides like Beethoven. Fucking shit. I mean, the Yardbirds. You guys ever heard of the fucking Yardbirds? You guys ever heard of Stripes? I don't listen to them. Stripes. They're a fucking Christian rock band in the 80s. You probably didn't. Like, there's a lot of good shit out there. Just in every single fucking genre. Every single genre. Electric. Rock. Fucking EDM, whatever you want to call it. The whole, just hip-hop. Everywhere. Classic music. Fucking dance music. Everything. There's all these different genres that are fucking great. So it's expand. Listen to actual good music. You don't just, sit there and stream just your Migos and your fucking Yachty and whoever the fuck their names are. I can't even think of them. The last good rapper out of these guys, I feel like, was like 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz was good. Like, Kendrick's still kicking it. He's still killing. Like, all the people I said that are good earlier. Those are the people that I think are good. And yeah, haven't even gotten to the rest of the music history. That I just went on a little music rant. People are like, oh, you're just a hater of this new age. Well, I hate it because it's actually shit. Like, I'm not gonna go up to a pile of dog shit and say that it stinks just because it's a pile of dog shit. It actually fucking smells. That shit stinks. I'm gonna get the fuck away from it. Just like all this rap. I look at it and I hear it, and I can tell it's a piece of shit. So I'm not gonna go anywhere near it. But hey, people like shit. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Did I say there's anything wrong with that? Nope. But I said I can show you stuff that's 10 times better and why it is ass. But anyways, all the people are gonna be, your taste in music sucks. Like the Beach Boys right here. Hey, you know what these guys are? No. If you do, great. I'm actually really glad because the Beach Boys are a fucking classic. Let's see. What's another good one? Let's see. Good Times, Bad Times. The first Led Zeppelin single reaches the chart peak of number 80 in America. Led Zeppelin, go check them out. If you're just all you do is listen to hip hop, go listen to some Led Zeppelin. Listen to let's see, Good Times, Bad Times. That's a good one. Let's see, Over the Hills and Far Away. Let's see, what was it? Good Times, Bad. Like, why can't I can see all the albums in my fucking head because I have them out in the back. Misty Mountains. Stairway to Heaven's a classic, but everyone thinks that they ripped that off, so probably no one likes it anymore. Let's see. Whole Lot of Love is a good one. Just look up Led Zeppelin. Look up their, like, just do it. Just do it. George Harrison, that was 1969. That's a good year for music. Fucking, the Box Tops. The Box Tops, I think. What was it? No, 68. 1968 is when, because I was thinking 69 of their hit single, but it was in 68 when their song hit number 1 on the charts, I believe, and it was I think this song of the year. A lot of good shit came out in 68. A lot of the Doors. I think the Doors' first album titled The Doors came out fucking In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Iron Butterfly came out that year. What's another good shit? What Beatles album came out that year? I think it was Yellow Submarine. No. Yellow Submarine or the White Album. I'm not too sure. I don't have those dates memorized. Nancy and Frank Sinatra's Something Stupid goes number 1 in the UK. That's a good song. If you guys haven't heard that, go fucking listen to it. Jackie Wilson. If you guys never heard of Jackie Wilson, he's a fucking savage. Makes his stage debut with the show at the Copacabana in New York. That sounds like a cool place I would want to go to. Let's see, where is this other one? Let's see. I think that's in the history one, not in the music one, because that's not music. Let's see. I think that's it for the music history. Today in history, just as history, Superman made his debut today. And yesterday. It's from yesterday. I don't know why it said today in history. But then, I guess yesterday, who cares? Yesterday, Superman made his debut in April 18th, 1938. AKA Man of Steel made his debut as the first issue of the Action comic bearing a cover date of June. Went on sale for 10 cents a copy. In 2018, a nearly flawless original copy was sold on eBay for $2.3 $3.2 million. You could buy a fucking comic book. Sorry for shouting. In 1938, the year my grandma was born. No, my grandma was born in 32. Sorry. 38, you could buy a comic for 10 cents. Brand new. Now, brand new, it's $3.2 million. Jesus Christ. I like these facts on this day. In 1775, Paul Revere began his famous ride from Charlestown to Lexington, Massachusetts, warning colonists that the British regular troops were approaching. The British are coming! The British are coming! In 1865, Confederate General Joseph E. Johnson surrendered to Union Major General William T. Sherman near Durham Station in North California. See, I think the Major General William T. Sherman, this is really off topic, I have a comic book from DC, like every comic book that they wrote of this guy, it's called like a Sherman, like Haunted Sherman, or like it's about a haunted Sherman tank. And you always see the Sherman. I think that was a Major Sherman. I think that was him, because you always see a guy from the Confederate War, with his sword and everything, and he's on his horse, and he always talks to the driver of the tank and helps him get through combat, which I really like, because it's not necessarily cursed, but it's like has like a weird thing where it's like a curse with that the Sherman general has like an attachment to the tank somehow, and it's named Sherman, and tanks were Shermans, and yada 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 yada. But this is how the ghost helps him out. But yeah, Jesus Christ. In 1906, a devastating earthquake struck San Francisco, followed by raging fires, estimating a final death toll range between 3,000 and 6,000 people. No, thank you. Damn, this podcast is going longer than I thought. Longer than the first one, 57 minutes. All good, though. In 1923, the first game was played at the original Yankee Stadium in New York. The Yankees defeated the Boston Red Sox 4-1. Let's see. In 1942, during World War II, an air squadron from the USS Hornet, led by Lieutenant Colonel James H. Doolittle, raided Tokyo and other Japanese cities. The first World War II edition of the Stars and Stripes was published as a weekly newspaper. In 1943, Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, Commander-in-Chief of the Japanese Combined Fleet, was shot down and killed by U.S. fighters while approaching Bougainville, Bougainville, Ville, Bougainville, in the Solomon Islands. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. In 1966, Sound of Music won the Oscar for Best Picture of 65 at the 38th Academy Awards. I like that. Let's see. Finding blah 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 blah. Let's see. U.S. Suicide bombers killing people. That's no fun. No one wants to talk about that. Let's see. Boston Marathon thing happened on this day a few years ago. And then a year ago, I think this is funny. 1 year ago, turning back to the economic populism that helped drive his election campaign, President Donald Trump signed an order he said should help American workers whose jobs were threatened by skilled immigrants. Can't let those really skillful immigrants that have been doing this whole lives take our jobs. Nah. Because, they don't want to get killed by drug lords and fucking people killing their families and cutting their heads off and raping their women and doing all these horrendous things that doesn't go on in America, so they want to live a better life. And hey, it costs a lot of money, and maybe actually it's a long process to become legal, and you got to get some money to do that, so you got to start a life. And hey, I don't know anything about that. Whatever. Yeah, it's not like I've known people that have had to do that shit, come over here and work their fucking ass off just so they can become a legal citizen because they have absolutely nothing when they came here because they're getting away from violence and death. Yeah, I mean, hey. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either if I was someone from down there. I wouldn't want to come to a country that prospers on freedom, helping everyone out is loving one another, and yeah, doesn't sound like a country I would want to go to, and my country is being torn apart by drug lords and gun runners. But who am I to talk, right? The signing took place at the headquarters, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck where it was taken, signing. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. So he just signed something that helps Americans get jobs so that skilled immigrants don't get them. Well, if you don't have any fucking skills, they're not going to hire you. They're going to hire someone that has fucking skills, so get to it. Well, we can't do that if they have our jobs. Well, you can't just start at a place that requires skill when you have none. And someone who has skill goes, yeah, bro, I'll do it, no problem. I'll go, yep, here you go, bro. Go out and do some shit, get some skills, bro. Get good, bro. As a video game community would say, get good, bro. You're fucking scrub. Get good, bro. And I like this little article at the very bottom. And this is thoughts for today. And it's a quote by Ben Hecht. I think that's how you say his name. Hecht. Hollywood screenwriter. Born in 1894 and died this date in 64, which was yesterday. Says, I'll tell you a secret. We live in a mad and inspiring world. And that is very true. You can hear my dog walking around. But I think that is where we'll end the podcast. I've done my ranting. It's about an hour of content that you guys can sit and listen to me bitch about how I think people are whiny little hoes, why I think music sucks these days, and yeah, got a little tired from all that ranting, so I will see you guys on the next Goldmine Scenes podcast. Till next time.